hey, I know that I don't really do this, but I'm sort of in a weird place. I need to like figure out. I just need advice or like just people to like I don't know. I'm just making this because I just need to talk and like vent my problems because I recently I realized that I'm not okay. Like I have a lot of problems and a lot of things going on that I'm not like that I'm not they just don't like see I'm like having a hard time like expressing what I'm trying to say. There's a lot of things happening in my life right now that are like stressing me out and like they've been on my mind for a long time and are causing me a ton of anxiety and I don't know how to fix them and like I'm not able to talk to my therapist right now because I've been using an app for therapy that costs lots and lots of money that I do not have. And so I've not been able to pay for that because my money situation has been really strange. Speaking of money, I'm probably not going to be able to go to college next semester because I can't afford to pay off my tuition from last semester. It's like $2,500 that I don't have. And, it is my fault. I should have been paying it off. And I was trying, but I did something that was important to me. For my birthday, I went on a trip out of state for a couple days to just take a break and relax. And it was something that was important to me that I needed to do. And so, yeah, some people who, some people may look at that and say, well, that was not very, like, fiscally responsible of you because you had all these things you have to pay and you didn't pay for them. And, like, I understand that, and I'm very aware of it and don't need to be told that because I already recognize and know that. And I recognize that was a choice that was that I made. Like I recognize that was a choice that I made. And anyway, so I just have a lot like. I'm trying not to like stress out right now because like I'm paying $450 for an apartment, and my paychecks are only like $600 a month or $650-ish, or not a month, each paycheck, which is a lot. Like it's actually like for a college student with not that much experience, for a college student in like an entry level like retail job, that's quite a bit because I work full time and I make $11.50 an hour, which is not that bad and stuff. But like, I just don't feel like I have a lot of money because I have so many things I have to pay for, and and then on top of that, like, I'm just not the best at saving money, and it's something that I'm trying to work on, but it's hard for me because, like, the way that I look, the way that I come across is so important, and like my mental health, like for mental health reasons, buying things is important to me, and like it's something I'm working through, and so like I'm trying to like not, but like it's hard because like I get my paychecks and then like I pay for my rent and then I buy my groceries and then I'm like, cool, whatever's left I have to spend. Like I don't have to spend, but I have it, but I am able to spend. And like I've tried putting these in savings accounts before, but to me, if it's an account that I am able to get into, I will use it. So like my savings account is got changed from a savings account to a checking account a couple years ago because I was taking money out so often. So it's just a second account that I have that never has any money in it, and occasionally like I'll put, if I like have some, like sometimes I'll put my rent in there, if like I get paid like before, like a couple weeks before the end of the month, so like let's say I got paid this week, or no, last week, if I had gotten paid last Thursday, I would put my rent away in my savings account and then use whatever was left for groceries and other things, and then my rent paycheck, or then the stuff I put away for rent would be used for my rent. So you do that. But if the money I'm putting away is not specifically for something that is like coming up that I have to pay for, then I usually don't save. You know? And so like, you know, saving for tuition, like, yeah, that's something I have to pay for, but like, it's a different mindset in my brain, because if I don't pay tuition, then I just don't go to college. But like, if I don't pay my rent, I don't have a place to live, and I have to have a place to live. And so like, it's just a different switch in my brain that I'm trying to like switch up. Anyway, then like another thing is I've never been on a second date. I've been on like very few first dates, but I've never been on a second date, because like it's just so it's so like hard to like feel wanted or to feel like accepted, because elementary school was hard for me. Like all throughout elementary school I was bullied for being different, for being feminine, for, you know, being tall but also being chubby, and, you know, for not having any like male friends, and for having overactive bladder. Sometimes I wet myself and stuff. And so those were all things that I was like really mercilessly bullied for, and I didn't have a lot of friends. So like, you know, it was just me by myself, like trying to like combat this stuff. And, you know, I had some friends, you know, throughout elementary school at different times, but because I moved around so often too, I often didn't have the time to get to know my friends super well and have like relationships with them, because, you know, I don't remember any of my friends from kindergarten or first grade. Second and third grade I had 2 good friends, but I only lived there for 2 years, and then I moved. And so like we were like close, so we'd hang out all the time, but like we didn't know each other super well because we only were friends for 2 years. And then I moved and met somebody in 4th grade who became my best friend, and then we added another friend in 5th grade, and then another friend in 6th grade. So there were 3 of us that were all just sort of, you know, inseparable. And, you know, I think my biggest problem has always been when my friends have friends that aren't necessarily my friend, it kind of like, it just like is uncomfortable for me. Like not because I'm trying to say like my friends aren't allowed to have friends. Like that's not a thing. That's not it at all. It's the fact that like I have a problem when like it's especially relevant now because I have one good friend. One. We spend a lot of time together. We hang out a lot, but she has other friends that she's close to, but I don't. There's like I have some other people that are like I consider friends, you know, from like various things, like from work or from school or whatever. That like I'm, you know, sort of comfortable hanging out with in like group settings or whatever, or like, you know, going to group activities with. But like hang out solo one-on-one, like by ourselves, I have like one good friend. And when she's like at work or with her other friends or hang out with her family, I get so like I get into such a dark place because I feel it feels to me like she's abandoning me, and I know that she's not, you know, because she is allowed to have other people in her life and she has them, but it feels like abandonment because I don't have anybody else. And so when I'm going through something, you know, I need somebody to talk to, or when, you know, when I get off work and I just want to hang out with somebody and she's not there, I don't have anyone to call. I don't have anyone to hang out with. And part of that is me just not feeling super comfortable with a lot of people, because I'm sure there are a lot of people that feel like I'm there, that they're sort of close to me, or feel like that they're a friend of mine, and they would feel comfortable hanging out with me. And that's great, and I love that and appreciate that. and I don't always feel like but I don't always feel like I feel comfortable hanging out with them only because I haven't like, it takes a lot for me to feel comfortable with somebody. We have to hang out a lot, like, and I have to like know that they're just unapologetically gonna be there for me. But I also don't want to feel like a burden. So like, there's some people where like I feel like they may want to hang out, or like they may feel comfortable hanging out with me, but I don't want to feel like that burden. You know, I don't want to call them or text them or whatever, because I don't want to feel like I'm bugging them. I don't want to feel like I'm inconveniencing them, or whatever. And I have major issues with failure and with disapproval and not being liked. And so if there's any possible chance that somebody will that someone's gonna like say no to me or not like me or whatever, sorry, I have to sneeze. If there's any possible like chance that someone's not gonna like me, or like they're gonna like say no to hang out with me or whatever, I just don't do it because I'm too afraid. Like I would rather, like, I don't know. It's just like I feel comfortable with, my brain is like moving 100 miles an hour, and I like finish thoughts before I'm done saying them. And I finish them in my brain and like start going on something else. But I feel like I feel like I have major issues with rejection and stuff because I'm not necessarily the most comfortable with myself. And I still have issues. Like this is probably more than a lot of people know about me, I am not always 100% myself. Even like with my closest people, I'm not always 100% myself because I'm afraid that people aren't going to like me as I am. And so I like alter some things, I change some things. I make jokes all the time to try to be funny, because if I'm funny, then people will like me. If I'm funny, people are like, oh yeah, Drew's funny, like they're really cool, and then they want to hang out with me and they want to like talk to me and they think that I'm funny and I am actually worth something. But so that's why I make a lot of jokes. That's why I like post all the funny things on my page, because I like to be funny. I like to be perceived that way. So that's like, those are the biggest. Sorry, that was like a whole like train in a different direction, which is how my brain works. If you haven't met me, hi, this is how my brain works. I like start talking about something, and then this reminds me of this, and I go off this way, and then eventually come back to this, and then I'll probably go off in a different direction later. But basically, the biggest things I'm struggling with right now are like not feeling like I am like worth anything, because I'm not in a relationship. And I know that's not everything, but it's hard like to be a 23-year-old who's never been in a committed relationship ever, not one time, who's never even been on a second date with anybody. It's hard. Like, especially living here, it's hard. If I were living somewhere else, and I had more friends that were from other places, it would not feel as weird. But like living in this state where like, if you're 23 and unmarried, you're pretty much a failure at life, because especially like, you graduate high school, you go on a mission, you come back from your mission, you like are 20, you get married, you have children right away, have 8 children, get married within, like, you meet somebody, get married in 6 months, have kids, and then live your life like that forever, And for me, I'm 23, I didn't go on a mission, I'm not even a member of the church anymore, but that's a whole different topic that I'm not going to probably cover in this because it's not really relevant. But so being a 23-year-old who's like still in college, not married, has no children, no significant other of any kind, it's really like hard on me and my self-esteem. Like my self-esteem has never been lower, And like I have good days. You know, there are days where I feel really great about myself. But like every time I open a dating app, or like every time I see a couple that's like in public, flourishing and thriving, and I hear people talk about the significant others, I just get thrown into a like depression because I feel like, you know, all of these people that I know and love are like in relationships, are, you know, thriving, having children or not, but they're like in happy committed relationships and like, you know, being happy with each other, and I'm just here having no interest in me whatsoever. And, you know, I like, part of me thinks that like every time I think about this, I always think, well, maybe I'm just too picky. You know, maybe like I just am too picky about like the people that I want to go out with. But then I think about like, I don't want to go out, I don't like, I'm not gonna go on a date with somebody I'm not attracted to. Because for me personally, like I don't think that looks are everything, but I think attraction is. Because like at the end of the day, if I'm not attracted to somebody, then there's nothing that's going to compel me to stay with them. And so, like if I'm not attracted physically or like emotionally or mentally or whatever to somebody, or sexually or whatever, then I'm not gonna want to stay with them. And so there's a lot of people who in the past have like, you know, I've made posts about how like nobody wants me, or like I don't have a boyfriend or whatever, and like people are like, oh, I'll be your boyfriend, I'll go on a date with you, and I appreciate that and I love that. But oftentimes those people are not people that I'm in any way attracted to. Doesn't mean they're not attractive. I just don't feel any kind of emotional, physical, sexual, intellectual, whatever, attraction to them. And like, I always feel so bad when I say that I'm not attracted to somebody, or when I tell somebody I'm not attracted to them or whatever, because I feel like it's an insult, but I don't, like, it's not meant as an insult. I'm not trying to tell them like that they are unattractive. It's simply just I'm saying that like I don't personally feel attracted to them, and I don't feel like I should have to go on a date with somebody I'm not attracted to, because that's not something that, like for me, because I feel sexual attraction and emotional attraction and physical attraction and all these things, those need to play a part in my relationships. Whereas, you know, other people may not feel emotional attraction, or they may not feel sexual attraction, or whatever. It's not going to play as big of a part, but for me, it's a big part. I have to feel connected to somebody, and you know, there's been times I've had crushes on other people, and I felt attracted to other people who would not feel the same about me, and that's fine too. But like, I guess my biggest thing is I'm doing all my dating on social media, on like from dating apps, which is not always great, but I don't have transportation to get up to like, cause like there's only like a couple bars down here in Provo-Orem area, and like none of them are gay bars, and like there's gay bars in Salt Lake that I could go to, but they're so far away, and I don't have a vehicle. I don't want to go by myself, but like my best friend works even more than I do, and so that's part of the you know, playing into the fact that I don't have that many friends that I feel comfortable with. You know, so like I'm not just gonna be like, hey, what are you doing this weekend? Let's go out to a bar, with, you know, calling up these people. Now, if I get invited, I'll 100% go. But or like I will most likely go, depending on how I'm feeling, or like if I'm busy or whatever. But like if I am available to go and I'm feeling up for it, like mentally, and like I feel at least somewhat comfortable with the people, and I get invited, I'll go. But if I don't get invited, I'm not just gonna ask people, because that's just an uncomfortable territory for me. And you know, with Pride coming up and everything, like I've been thinking a lot more about that kind of stuff. Seeing, you know, all these people like post about their significant others, or like, you know, even like just seeing people post pictures on Facebook of them, or like on their Instagram story or whatever, about them being, you know, at a bar with all their friends, or like being out with all their friends, like that to me just is so emotionally draining because I don't have any friends. Like I have one, like I said, and so like I need to do things like that, you know, and in order for me to ever do something like that, I have to like invite myself. Like I have to, like my best friend and I hang out all the time, but if I want to like go out with a group of friends, I would either have to ask, like hear about it and insert myself and say, hey, I want to go, which is probably not going to happen, or my best friend would get invited, and then I would go with her, or whatever, or like she would just ask. Except like we're both like anti-social and don't like talking to people about that kind of thing, so she probably wouldn't ask. But like she's more. I feel like I don't know. She might. I feel like there is a possibility that she might ask to go if it was people that she knew really well, she was comfortable with. She would go ask, and then I would go. But like other than that, I'm just not gonna go to things, and so that's a big reason for me why I'm feeling this way. Like I'm just super depressed. I've spent literally the entire day today in my apartment by myself. Because I don't have a car and my best friend's at work and I have no money to like go out and do things or to take a lift places. Like, you know, there's all these groups that I'm part of on Facebook post, like a bunch of them are like, yeah, we have these events like every Sunday or every Saturday, like at this time at this place, and I, you know, for a long time I worked every Sunday so I couldn't go, but like they're always either a time when I can't go, or like they're on Sundays and buses don't run so I can't go, and like I feel too uncomfortable to just like ask somebody to take me and stuff, because like on days when I don't have work, I sit at home all day, do nothing. And like luckily I'm in a show now, so I have like evenings, like stuff. I have like stuff to do in the evenings and stuff. But like last week on Thursday, I had nothing. I didn't have rehearsal and I didn't have work, so I just spent, you know, a good chunk of the day just at home by myself. And it, you know, being at home by myself is not great for my mental health. And like living with, because right now I have one roommate. And then there's an empty room, and so the one roommate that I have, we don't really talk that often, because we're just not that close. We don't really know each other that well, and you know, and so not living with people that I enjoy or that I'm close to, and being at home by myself a lot is so detrimental for my mental health, and I'm trying to figure out a way to supplement it, but I just don't really know. And anyway, so that's how I'm feeling right now, and I don't really know what to do about it. But thank you for enduring this 23, it's 23 minutes and 20 seconds right now, but this 24-minute video of me just ranting and venting, just my stream of consciousness, because I just need to get this stuff out, and I don't know what to do. I don't necessarily know what I'm looking for either. I guess this is just more of like a video to just like exist, you know, to help people get to know me better, because I don't know. Yeah, I'm not really sure why, like, this is just a video that like I'm making for you to watch or not. I don't really care. So yeah, that's it. Bye.